What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time joining us, welcome to the channel. Today's video, if you couldn't tell by the title or the thumbnail, which is probably the reason you're here in the first place, is about my M&P 2.0 4¼ inch customized by Monsoon Tactical. Let's talk about that. Alright, so let's get right into it. So this is the M&P 2.0 4¼ This is a full-sized frame with a 4¼ slide, which 2011 world would be like a Commander, as opposed to a full 5-inch slide. They're both full-size, I believe, still, but longer barrel and slide on the 5-inch. So I bought this gun used because I was specifically looking for one with no serrations on the front at all. You can't get this whole package done with the versions with the front serrations. It just has a different design. And while we're talking about that, the package that I had done to this gun is the .1 Tactics Pro Spec. All the slide cuts, all the stippling, and the magwell is actually enlarged. And then, I mean, I guess the optic cut is part of it, but like I said, if you get the one that has the front serrations, it's already optic cut, so you don't have to worry about the optic cut, but that's part of the package too. The finish on this, I'll be putting in some B-roll just to get some good views of it, but the Cerakote finish job on it is called Initial D in gray. So that's why it looks like this, kind of looks like a anime. I am pretty damn happy with this gun. The only other thing we did to it was put an Apex trigger in it. I bought red. I think that's what was available at the time, or I don't know. This was a while ago when I bought all this stuff, but whole package looks pretty cool like this with the red trigger. I usually hate red parts on guns, especially ARs, but it works on this gun. So since we kind of did the what on the gun, let's do the why. So the why is because I wanted it. That's pretty much the only reason. My USPSA gun is an M&P 2.0. I shoot the steel frame as of earlier this year when it finally came out. I wanted something that was an easy swap over from USPSA to my carry gun. So I am carrying this gun right now. Grip is the same size. The only difference on this is the backstrap size, but it still points pretty similar as it should because it's basically the same gun, just with the shorter slide. My original plan last year, I think, I bought a 5-inch police trade-in gun, and I was gonna see if Monsoon would do this to the 5-inch. At the time, they were not doing 5-inch guns. It was only 4¼ I was considering emailing them, trying to get it done. But at the time, with their lead time being the way it is, because they're so popular and do such good work, I wouldn't have got the gun back in time for when I needed it. So last year I was traveling to Wyoming to shoot a match. It was a 10, 13-hour drive. I forgot how long. And I wanted a backup gun, so I didn't want to go there with just one gun, have that gun go down, and then we have no backup. So at the time with the 5-inch gun, I didn't want to send it to Monsoon, and I think it was like roughly, it would have been back like the same week I was leaving or something like that. I didn't want to cut it that close. That's why we didn't do it on the other gun. The other gun in question is this 5-inch. I actually sent the slide to Floyd's Custom Shops, and they did all this work on the slide, which was pretty damn good. I am more than happy with this. If you want to see a full video on this gun, I'll link it in the description or somewhere, but did a full video on this gun. I love this slide. I actually made master in carry optics with this exact setup without the Apex barrel, just the Apex trigger and extended mag release. So yeah. So now getting back to the 4¼ this gun, kind of the same process. So I was signed up to shoot the belt defensive the PCSL belt defensive championship match, which was in Texas 2 weeks ago at this point. When I signed up for that match, I actually told myself, I decided I'm going to buy this gun finally, send it out to get the work done, because like I said, I wanted to get it done last year, and now this was the perfect excuse to get this done. So this fit in the defensive practical division, which was, I mean, you could go on the PCSL rule book. There are the stipulations on what division has what things, but this was, you'd start with 15 rounds in the magazine, which was actually pretty fun, planning around 15-round magazines. Just a nice little change. But yeah, we got this done finally. I am super hyped with it. Let's go over like 1 or 2 things that I guess I don't like. I don't know. I kind of like the gun. Now, some of the bad, which isn't really bad at all because I don't really care that much. When I sent in my gun for customization, I didn't really have a specific plan on what like finish I wanted on it. I just paid for multicolor, and then in my head I was saying I'll figure this out later when it gets closer. Kind of wanted the Initial D anime style finish, which is what we got here. I think what I put was gray with red accents, or like black with gray and red accents, something like along the lines of that. As you can see, we don't have any red accents other than the trigger. I just really wanted something that was going to match the trigger. So since this whole setup matches the trigger, I don't really care, just mentioning that. Then the other thing, since it is Cerakote, and this is why Cerakote kind of sucks, other than if you're using it to customize, we are already wearing through the finish on a bunch of spots. So I got this gun back maybe a month ago at this point, and I've shot it exclusively for that month. I had a couple practice sessions, a concealed carry match, and then I shot the Belt Defensive Championship in Texas, and then it's kind of just went back in the holster as like the carry gun and went back to the steel frame since then. Through this, I'll get some B-roll of like the spots that we're wearing through, but we're wearing through up here, back here, trigger guard, stuff like that. Like I said, this is Cerakote. This is a flaw of Cerakote, other than your cool customization. As we see on my Floyd's Custom Shotgun, got the same thing, wearing through there, all the way up there on the serrations, back there. It's just something that happens with Cerakote. If you don't want your guns to wear, don't get them Cerakoted, go send them for DLC or something like that. Guns like this, it's gonna wear, and just live with it. You use your gun, it's gonna wear. That's it. Okay, now the last bad thing. So this gun, when I got it, it didn't even have an optic cut on it, so it's not like I was gonna be using it anyway. It was just gonna sit in the safe until we were ready to get it, send it in. So the Monsoon Tactical lead time, how it works, or how it's supposed to work, you pay for it, you buy everything that you want done to the gun, you keep your gun until they need it. When they need it, they email you, you send it into them, they have your gun for a couple weeks, they send it back to you, fully customized and done. You waited your full 16 to 18 week lead time, but you actually were only without your gun for 2 or 3 weeks. In theory, awesome. So that's what happened with my 4-inch MEP 2.0 that I had Lucky 7 ported from them. I don't remember their exact lead time on that, but it was the lead time, say 7 to 8 weeks, at the 6-week mark, send the gun into them. They had it for a couple weeks, send it back, done. So this gun, .1 Tactics Pro Spec, is a 16 to 18 week lead time, which is pretty long, which is the reason I didn't get the other gun done last year, and which is why we kind of rushed somewhat to get this done. At about week 8, I get the email, send us your gun, we're ready for it. So in my head, I'm like, awesome, it's going to get done a lot faster than 16 to 18 weeks. Send my gun into them, radio silence. I email them a few weeks later. I get the email back saying, all it said was, you're in week 10 of your 18-week lead time. Which in my head, on your website says, you're going to only email me when you need the gun. So I didn't think it was completely ridiculous for me to email just to ask for an update on the gun. Apparently it was. Fast forward, we're in week 18. Decide, let me email them again, because now we're at week 18. I get the response that, oh, it should be done soon. Week 19, week 20. I think I get the gun back in week 20. So lead time was a little bit longer than expected. I started freaking out because it was actually the week or two before I was leaving for that competition. This gun was specifically bought for that competition, and I pretty much didn't have another gun to shoot for that competition, at least in that division. Or else I would have had to been in like the competition division, which would put me against like ported 2011s and stuff like that. So I was mildly freaking out. Got the gun back. Gun is awesome. Shoots awesome. I actually enjoy it a lot. So coming from the steel frame into this gun, I was expecting it to be a lot worse because I got kind of spoiled with the steel frame. It actually shoots really nice. I do like the kind of like fast snappiness of the recoil because it's a 4 1/4. Shooting it is awesome. I did okay at the match, not as good as I wanted, because I don't think the stock barrel is up to snuff, and that's probably, yeah. I think I'm probably gonna group this gun at some point just to have peace of mind, because there were some shots at that match that I called good shots on, and it was a miss. And I didn't like that. It dropped me a bunch of places. There was one stage I had 3 mics, and it was 3 shots on target. I called 3 shots, good shots on the tuxedo. I had 2 misses, and then the last target, second to last target, I think there was a double on it. I asked them to card it. 3 people came over to card it because no one could make an actual decision because it looked like it could be a double. And then I didn't get the double, which, all right, I just said like, thank you, whatever, moved along. But in my head, I'm like, I just shot 2 mics over here. Just give me the double. Because 3 of you couldn't decide definitively. But it is what it is. I'm going to shut up now. If you made it this far, thank you for watching the video. If you have any questions, you want to see some more pictures or something like that, leave some comments down below. You could always follow me on Instagram. If you want to support the channel in any way, hit that like button, subscribe. Use the links down below. We do have some links for some merch and some other stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. Get out there, go shoot a match, and let's make GM together eventually.
I'm leaving it at this point.
After finish if clear. Range is clear. Time 7-9. Yeah, it might be. It's close.